Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. This is a brief introduction to the summer program all of us at Bayyinah are planning to have this year. I hope that you guys can watch this entire video and get a good idea of what we have in store for you. We're all very excited about it. This summer we're holding several Bayyinah intensives, 10-day courses that are very easy to attend and also inshallah ta'ala very enjoyable. They're going to be held in New York, Los Angeles, Detroit, Houston, Phoenix, Chicago, and Dallas. And we're going to be actually holding several different subjects at two levels. So we're having two levels of audiences coming and attending. Before I get my two colleagues involved in this conversation, I just want to tell you that we're having 5 different seminars that we're going to be holding this year. The first of them, inshallah ta'ala, Tajweed Essentials, which is going to be held in Houston and in Dallas this summer, inshallah. The Fundamentals of Classical Arabic, the 10-day Arabic program, the evening Arabic program, that's going to be held in several cities in New York, Los Angeles, Detroit, Phoenix, Chicago, inshallah ta'ala. And then after that, we're having 2 more intermediate courses, actually 3 intermediate courses. One of them is called The Principles of Quranic Eloquence, and we'll talk about that a little bit with the instructor himself, Sheikh Abdul Nasir. And we're going to have an advanced reading course, learn to read Arabic without tashkil. I'll talk more about that when the time comes. That's the course I'm teaching. And Hafiz Wissam is teaching advanced tajweed also in that time. So let's get the conversation started, inshallah ta'ala. I want to ask you a little bit, first of all, let's describe how usually you teach an 8-day Tajweed Essentials course, but in the summer, inshallah, you'll be doing a 10-day program. So it's an extended version of the same course. Tell us a little bit about it, inshallah.
So the advantage, and really what I'm looking forward to for this summer, is the 8-day course is usually 2 hours. It takes some time to get involved with the people, but what we're doing in the 10-day course is we're teaching the entire PARTS system. So usually what you get to do is you get to do letters and some reading of the last 10 surah of the Quran. In this 10-day course, we're going to be covering makharij, we're going to be covering everything we do in the regular 8-day, but we're going to be adding on awqaf, the waqf in the Quran, and also something we've never taught before, which is sifat, the characteristics of letters.
So usually you do PAR, right?
Usually we do.
What does the acronym stand for?
PAR is the phonetics, accents, and rhythm, and now we're adding the TS, which has been there, but no students have actually gotten a chance to study it. It's temperament and sifat.
What does temperament exactly mean for more common language?
Sure, common language is where do you stop and start in the Quran? The sentence, we are going to eat, Wissam is a teacher, we are going to eat Wissam. If you move the period, it makes a lot of difference, right? So if you stop in the wrong place in the Quran, it really does make a big impact on the meaning.
Okay. And what about your intermediate level course?
The intermediate
or rather advanced, sorry.
It's going to be the advanced course. This is going to be the first time Bayyinah is offering it.
Yeah.
It is...
how many times have you taught basic tajweed?
We've taught basic tajweed 79th class is coming next weekend.
79 times, and
awesome.
Advanced tajweed has never been taught on location as a proper course.
No, it's been taught via telephone, it's been taught via a whole bunch of other means. And I guess the biggest thing is it's the first time, it's 3 years coming. People have been really excited about taking the tajweed 8-day, then the weekend, but now people are jumping over themselves.
Here in Dallas, back in December, we had the 8-day and the weekend version of basic tajweed, and the first question that people asked as soon as we got to the last couple of days is advanced tajweed. When do I go to the next? So this will be that opportunity.
This will be that
10 days of it.
This is 10 days advanced tajweed, things that are not discussed until your last ijaza, until you qualify for an ijaza exam. We'll be discussing that in 10 days. And the best part about this advanced tajweed course is at the end, the last 4 sections are going to be discussing how to memorize Quran. How do you go from advanced tajweed to memorizing?
So I want to ask you a question directly. I was in Memphis last weekend, and I was telling folks about our tajweed program, and they said a really interesting thing. I found it shocking. They said, yeah, this course, Divine Speech, is a lot of fun, but tajweed must be a lot of hard work. It's not going to be any fun. So should we really get kids to come in our family and stuff? I really did get that question, and I was shocked because clearly they don't know what circus tricks you do in your class. So I want you to talk a little bit about how fun it is actually, which is important.
Oh, definitely. I think after 78 classes, people get a good feel of the course was very technical, then it got less technical, and then it just got outright fun now with the weekend seminar.
Yeah.
So anyone who has that feeling, remember we've stripped technical terminology about 40 classes ago.
Right.
But now we're at a point where that even the terms that we stripped down are just fun words to say. For example, all of the mukhaffam letters were changed to heavy and light, and now all the heavy and light letters are changed to awesome letters. And so people walk in and say, "Well, what's an awesome letter?" I say, "Give me seven sounds. Ba, sa, ba, 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 ra, ha." What's the common thing in the background? They're like, "Oh, it's the aw sound." I'm like, okay, that worked. And tongue touch, tongue not touch, they're awesome letters. The tongue touch, ikhfa and idhar were changed to tongue touch, tongue not touch, and that became uncle and ink. And people are like, "Oh, wow, I can make those sounds." So not only is it...
I was having a Quran reading session here every Tuesday. I do it at the masjid. And when I was trying to explain, okay, no, this is not idhar, this is ikhfa. So one uncle in the class yells out, "It's uncle, not ink." I don't know what that means.
Alhamdulillah.
Hey, so they remember, mashallah. Okay, so your turn now. I want to ask you, before we talk about the fundamentals course, actually, I want to go to the intermediate. A lot of times there are students all over the country that have taken some Arabic grammar, they've taken a course or two in college, they're getting a little rusty, but even if they're not rusty, they just haven't been able to take that next step where Arabic stops being a technical thing and it just becomes literature that you can read and parse through, right? The other thing is, learning the technicalities of Arabic doesn't necessarily expose you to the beauty of Arabic, which brings me to having you introduce the course, the 10-day course for intermediate students that have done some Arabic before, called The Principles of Quranic Eloquence.
Right.
And I want you to also share with us how this is related to, but not exactly the same, or not even nearly the same as the seminar Divine Speech.
Right.
Inshallah ta'ala.
First thing, I guess, is to more clearly state it for everybody watching is that, alhamdulillah, people, I know they come out and they enjoy our Bayyinah seminars just in general, but there are people always within the audience who still go home with benefit, but they are at more of an intermediate and advanced level, and we want to make sure that we cater to them during the summer specifically. Really intellectually, inshallah, and academically challenge them so that they feel motivated and they feel like they took a major step. And so one thing about the Arabic language is, one of the things that sets it apart, and especially Quranic and even Sunnah literature, is the nuances, the rhetoric, that there are subtleties built within the language that, just at a very surface level, people are not observant of. They're not, their minds are not tuned to picking up those nuances and those slight subtleties that the language has built into it. Now, Divine Speech is a seminar. You teach that, so you could probably talk about it more appropriately, but having discussed the curriculum and the subject material in detail, Divine Speech is something that creates a sense of appreciation. So a student sits there and says, you tell them, okay, there is the element of word choice within the Quran. Allah is choosing a specific word for a specific place for a specific reason.
Right.
And then you give them 3 or 4 examples of that happening, and they sit there and it's like, wow, subhanAllah, I never realized that. I never even noticed that there was something like that in the Quran. While they got exposed to it and they got a certain level of appreciation for it, they necessarily didn't develop the ability to go and find more examples on their own.
Yeah, exactly.
And so, but how much can you practically expect you to deliver in one weekend and people to achieve in one weekend?
Yeah, plus the purpose of my course is more an awareness rather than an actual study. It's really an appreciation course.
Right.
But what you're doing, inshallah ta'ala, is more of a study.
It'll be a study. So we'll be assuming that the individuals sitting in on this course have covered at least the material that we cover in the fundamentals course, plus maybe a unit or 2 beyond that we have online, or maybe sat one-on-one with the sheikh at their masjid and studied Arabic grammar, sarf and nahwa, syntax and morphology.
And by the way, when he's saying online, he's referring to bayyinahsessions.com, which is going to move soon enough, but until it does, you can still at least get some study done on your own to be really fully ready for inshallah ta'ala, the summer.
So
program.
if you think that, okay, I don't meet those qualifications or those requirements, but that's something that I would like to benefit from, then go to bayyinahsessions.com, sign up, study, grab a Sarf and Nahwa book, sit down with the imam of your masjid, sign up for an Arabic course online, whatever it takes. But for the people who, no matter how they studied Arabic, they have gotten a sense of how grammar works, we'll sit down with them in the course. We'll be taking specific articles that have been written in an amazing manner. It's really amazing how he's kind of opened the topic and opened the subject. Dr. Fadl Saleh Samarai, he's in detail laid out how to basically be able to appreciate and even identify these Quranic nuances and develop the ability to be able to identify them and appreciate them when you're just even reading the Quran.
Yeah.
and how to pick up on them, how to, and if he's got like a YouTube, he's got a show online in the it's
Lamasat
in the
Bayyinah.
mid Lamsad Bayyinah
Yeah.
in the Middle East, and it's put on YouTube. And what's amazing is that people are writing in and calling in with questions.
Right.
The biggest thing that jumps out at me is that means there's dozens, hundreds, maybe even thousands of people out there that while reading the Quran, the question mark pops in their head.
Yeah.
So when
It's
they
amazing.
when they read "La amliku li nafsi naf'an wala darran," and then one place they read "darran wala naf'an," it makes them ask the question,
Yeah.
why was the order switched?
Right.
So what we'll do is, inshallah, we'll sit down. We're going to take about anywhere from 7 to maybe 10 different articles of his, focusing on specific areas of Quranic rhetoric, Quranic balagha, and we'll go through the detailed articles, developing within the students, inshallah, the ability to have that light bulb go off on their head when
Yeah.
they read it and they see it in the Quran,
Yeah.
and then be able to sit down and actually derive some type of amazing gem
Right.
from what they've just observed and they
So
see.
here's, when we were discussing constructing this course,
Right.
we had this procedure that we talked about. Essentially, you'll be reading the article in Arabic, so
Right.
students are getting used to just listening to the Arabic. Then you're
course.
reading it line by line, translating it, and discussing it with them.
Right.
And then actually, as part of the exercise, just to quiz the students not only on the concepts that we covered, but also having some students read back to you the article that was just
Absolutely.
read,
Absolutely.
just to even on a side, develop in them the ability to read Arabic fluently.
Right.
Because sometimes when they study Arabic technically, they don't really necessarily develop reading fluency.
Right.
So it's kind of a side objective of the
Right.
course also.
So while the main objective exactly is to develop solidify these concepts within the minds of the students, these Quranic balagha, these rhetoric concepts, and give them the ability to access and derive benefit from these concepts and apply them to the Quran. On the side, they also will be developing the skill to be able to read advanced or academic Arabic articles,
Excellent.
and it makes sense to them,
Okay.
and they be able to turn around and then apply it back to the
So
Quran.
now we call this a concept course.
Right.
We're doing two kinds of courses this summer as far as intermediate Arabic. There are concept courses and skills courses. Sheikh Abdul Nasser is going to be teaching the concept course. Once again, this course he just described is called the Principles of Quranic Eloquence. I'll be teaching a course called it doesn't have a flowery title because I'm hoping it reaches the students that just don't need a flowery title. It's called Learn to Read Arabic Without Tashkil, or Reading Arabic Without Tashkil.
Excellent.
You've studied some grammar, punctuation, diacritical marks. You've studied some Arabic, you've studied some grammar, you understand certain principles of sentence structure, but when you pick up an Arabic book, you can't get through it, and even if you can, you're thinking more about the grammatical terms and what punctuations to put than what it actually
And
means.
to put it into really simple language for people, go pick up like a tafsir book or a hadith book or an Arabic magazine or even something, and notice that they didn't put the fatha, dhamma, kasra, the zabar, zer, pesh.
Right.
They didn't put that there for you. So how do you read that without them putting that? That's what it's
Right, so that our course for students that have done some grammar before, we're going to come in, we're going to read about 20 different excerpts from tafsir literature, various mufassirun, and even some hadith excerpts and sharh excerpts. We're going to read them. I'm going to make students read them after me without tashkil. We're going to translate them, each and every one of them. And one of the hardest part of my job, because this is a course that's putting you to work, you're going to take the Arabic and produce the English, then you're going to take the English and produce the Arabic. And we're going to do that for 20 passages over the course of these 10 days. So these are our intermediate courses. Finally,
I want to say one thing about that course that really students need to understand what an amazing opportunity it is. I've personally talked to students who spend 2-3 years studying with shuyukh, studying with scholars, Arabic teachers, and aside from the exceptional students, the majority of students hit that wall.
Can't have it happen to me too.
All that
Happened to me.
grammatical study does not translate to fluid reading of Arabic.
very
so reading comprehension is
Right.
really the jump we're trying to make. Now, finally, and what I feel very excited about is the course that I personally taught more than 130 times. And Sheikh Abdul Nasser, he came and audited he internalized the methodology with me in Tampa. That was a party that we had. And he's been teaching it since on and off, but he's actually going to be taking it on this summer, including myself, is the original 10-day Fundamentals of Classical Arabic, which I feel is the orphaned beloved child of Bayyinah. It was the first course we started with. It's the most popular course, but since I've been teaching divine speech, you've been busy with meaningful prayer, we haven't taught the Arabic course. So we've decided to make that a summer feature. Inshallah ta'ala, I'll be teaching it in Detroit and Chicago. You'll be teaching it in New York, Los Angeles, and Phoenix. And that course, for the audience here, is for anybody who can read the Quran in Arabic and they don't understand what they're reading. And they want to develop a solid beginner foundation in Quranic Arabic. Go ahead.
Like what I want to, because I had to explain this to a few people. When we say they have the ability to read Quran in Arabic, that even means somebody, if they have the ability to go, Amma like somebody who can even read Quran that much, inshallah, will benefit from
the course. They will benefit from this course. Of course, if you want to develop a reading fluency, there's a course right here that you should be taking also, inshallah ta'ala.
Right. And if you don't have any idea how to read at all, and you want to be able to start from letters, right? You want to start from letters, or you want to get an opportunity to read out of an Arabic mushaf within 8 or 9 lessons. Before our Arabic Bayyinah sessions, we actually have we're going to be broadcasting. We're going to be broadcasting the a 101 class for those people who want to catch up. Maybe take the 103 class this summer, but they're like, I don't know Tajweed yet. March 22nd, we'll be teaching an 8-day in Chicago, and that's going to be broadcast everywhere in the United States.
Oh, fantastic.
So and it's a chance for you to take a live 101. There are some recorded 101s up there.
On Bayyinah sessions, right?
Yeah, right on Bayyinah sessions, but
that'll be awesome.
I think if you can catch the March 22nd, it'll be really good for you. You can get to start reading in Arabic. Last comment about the fundamentals of classical Arabic and all of these courses. Just something I want the audience to know. Many of you have taken our courses. You already know this. But I want folks that are watching this for the first time and are thinking about spending their summer with us, our programs are family oriented. Bring your kids. I mean, some of my best students are 8 years old. So our Arabic courses are a lot of fun to attend. We try to take intimidation away from the courses. Alhamdulillah, this is a gift of Allah to us, that our first day of class usually has less students than the last day of class, and not the other way around. And this is a gift of Allah to us, and we're grateful for it. But we really do want you to take opportunity of this summer. The courses are, in our opinion, really extremely affordable. They're $100 a course, and that too for those who can afford it. If you can't afford it, you're still welcome to come. The intermediate courses that are going to be offered during the days are actually $200 a course, and that's of course for the more intermediate advanced audience. The evening courses, inshallah ta'ala, the 7 to 10 p.m. courses.
Tell them about the schedule a little bit, the timings.
The timings, the evening courses are going to run from 7 to 10 p.m.
That's the beginner
track. That's the beginner's track. So the Tajweed Essentials course and the Fundamentals of Arabic course, that's in the evening. So folks that are working in the local areas in these cities, and even folks that are coming from outside. And the intermediate advanced courses are going to run during the days at all of these centers, probably 10 to 1 or earlier during the day, inshallah ta'ala. But 3-hour sessions during the day for 10 straight days. The reason we're not having a rigorous, like 8 hours a day, 10 hours a day kind of program is because, one, we're trying to target families that are also having vacation. Right. So they want to mix their summer enjoyment with some learning at the same time. The other thing is we believe in really, I don't want to necessarily immerse you so much into it that you're exhausted and burnt out by the time you're done.
Right, exactly.
I want it to be something you enjoy, and it's almost like the craving's not done and you want to keep up with it, which is why our online follow-up study system comes into play. So this is just a little bit. We felt if we presented these concepts to you and the introduction to Bayyinah Summer to you in the form of a conversation, it would be easier for you to understand what we're about, what we're trying to do, and inshallah ta'ala motivate you to sign up for the summer and tell friends about it. By the way, in these locations, we are working with the local Islamic centers to get us cheap hotel deals for those of you that are planning to come from out of town.
Right.
That'll be posted on the site also.
There'll be an area where people can
collaborate with each other. So there's some brothers in Jersey or sisters, and there are some people, out in, a Tampa, Florida, or Orlando or something. They want to attend the program together. They can share hotel space or something. So we're going to try to create a forum online pretty soon also, where you can find out about others who are attending the program. Hopefully you will sign up for it. Visit bayyinah.com/student center, and under Bayyinah Summer, you'll see it. For more details and to share the link, tell people about Bayyinah Summer, one word, bayyinahsummer.com. Jazakumullahu khairan. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi.